The following podcast may be explicit. One Joe Young presents Adventures from the Shed, a tabletop RPG podcast. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com. And here we are, Adventures from the Shed online. The previous sounds you heard was Randy putting away the chip bag, but we're getting back into our Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition adventure in the Eridan Empire, brought to us by the fabulous Jason. Go ahead and take it away, Jason.
I will take it away. I'm going to throw it away here and we're done. No, I'm just kidding. Welcome back to Eridan. We are going to kick things off here. I want to jump right into it. So let's get into introductions here. Chris, if you don't mind, let's kick us off as is tradition.
Hey, this is Chris. I'm playing Ophidian, the Yuan-Ti pureblood rogue. Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
You are snakes, man.
Don't worry about it.
Snake!
Snake Plissken.
Meowdy, folks. This is Eli. I'll be playing Raze, Tiefling Bard.
And this is Joe. I am playing Rolex, the Warforged Artificer.
And I'm Randy, and I play Les, the Tabaxi Fighter.
Hey, there we go. All right. We are all back here and ready to rock and roll. And Les, why don't you go ahead and give us a quick recap of what happened last game?
Last time we talked to an old dude about a book and about everything that was going on in the world's history. We found out about Phineas and Ferb and their sister Candace's family line, and more about how they were kind of running things pretty badly, it seemed. And we found out that that Phineas went to a church some days, and then he spent a lot of time in his mansion. There were underground tunnels. And then we were heading out. That's pretty much all we really did that episode, was talking.
Long story short, we're overthrowing the government.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yes.
One hope at a
that
time.
was a wonderful recap there, Les, in a game that we just played about 10 minutes ago.
Oh, I'm sorry, I should have talked like this. And,
That was definitely the less is more version, right?
It was the less is more version.
Yeah.
It's on brand for Les.
I mean, I guess I could have went into way more details about how we talked about Activia and Activa,
I think it's
Activia,
perfectly appropriate.
Isn't Activia a form of yogurt?
It is now.
Nice. It's a perfectly appropriate recap for somebody who ended our last break by saying, I need to go refresh my drink.
yes.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Well, you guys have just left the Breaking Waves Monastery. It's probably late afternoon for you guys now, as you spent several hours in there speaking with Tulsi, the elderly individual who's overlooking this for the Jurlik family, the family that Rolex and Les were protectors or who have some connection to. Ophidian and Raze, you guys, again, being in there, you learned quite a bit, and you kind of started connecting the dots to some of your organization's means or information on what's going on. And Ophidian has in his possession now a map that leads to potentially the underground kingdom of the Leta Drow clans. With that, Rolex is kind of leading the way, pushing through many people here. Rolex, what does that look like as you're just banging? I mean, as always, this city is packed here. In the hallways, there are kids playing. There are people in there. There are people who have those offside grills that they're making food outside in their hallways and stuff.
I hope I don't knock over anything that's on fire. But Rolex, in finding extreme interest and an immediate, almost, I don't know if Rolex would believe in spiritual or not, but I'm going to say it as a spiritual connection to this book. And this book is Jurlik family information, and it's a lot of handwriting, and it's a lot of documentation that kind of reflects the last bits of what each leader of the family was doing at the time that they were the leader of the family towards their end. And then towards the end of the book, it's really scattered, and things are bad. Everyone's in danger. The noble house is on fire. And while reading that, Rolex had this image of pulling somebody who was a bloody mess out of a fire. And like the last of the of Rizul's entry, the last in there, was that he had created something that was integral to stopping what was happening. And I want to say so far that hasn't clicked with Rolex, but everything in there has elicited thoughts in his head that weren't there before, memories, glitches, whatever it is. So he's face down in this book, just scanning page by page. And hoping some more inspiration and insight comes to him. In the meantime, whatever is in front of him, he will be bumping into, not necessarily like a bulldozer, but at least bumping into enough that he has to continually say, "Pardon me, excuse me," and will occasionally blurt out I was never here.
Gotcha. All right. Is
Now
anyone
you're tracking.
is anyone helping steer him as when he first turns that corner here? Like there's like a couple of kids and he bangs into one and the little girl's like, "Ow!" And he's like, "Sorry, my apologies." Not hard enough to like hurt her or anything like that, but
Yeah.
like, "Sorry." Is anyone helping steer him, or
Yeah.
is
I'm finding great entertainment in him bumping into people.
Just watching the car wreck is what
Yep,
he's doing.
this is awesome.
Raze is gonna try and steer him best he
Okay.
can. But
Okay.
from behind, like I'll have my hands on his shoulders,
Mhm.
just like kind of trying to pull him one direction or the other,
There you go.
yeah? After,
forgetting that he can't feel.
He'll be
after
easily steered, though. It won't take
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. After again, you guys observing him like go down the first floor and actually bumping into people and sorry here, and you see some of the tenants who are living there are kind of like, "Hey, watch it," they're getting maybe a little bit raised. You're like, "Okay, I'll help this here," and you start to steer him easy enough, and you guys make your way down through the building. It takes you 15-20 minutes to make your way down all the stairwells and everything else like that. Here, Ophidian is not happy again, as does not like walking up and down things, but you guys make your way outside if that is where you guys want to go, and clear the building, and you are free to go wherever the heck you want now. So what do you guys want to do?
I think Ophidian wants to invent the escalator.
Maybe
Or
Lesky
elevator.
carrying pretty
Raze is
strong,
looking
right?
for his next prey.
I
How
got
dare
the
you.
impression, although this isn't Rolex talking, this is me. I got the impression that you guys wanted to look more into the idea of the cathedral and catching up with what's his face
Yeah.
there somehow.
Well, it was that, or we could use the entry from the underground city into the estate.
Raze was going to bring up. So we have a few avenues to explore. What does everybody want to check out first? I would like to go and gather some information on my own for a day or so. Reconvene somewhere once we all understand what we're doing.
Last time you were on your own, someone died.
I was not on my own. I was with the person I was supposed to protect.
I'm referring to the party, and yes, you should have.
Although
to
that
agree with-
seems to be the pattern in this group, isn't it, Les?
For sure.
I agree with Raze. I'd like to, do some research.
But if you're referring to my family, that was a uncontrollable circumstance.
That was mine.
If you think you're
Yes.
distressed by her death, Les, think of how Ray's felt when he was with her while she was alive, and then by the time he left, she was dead. Think of how he felt at that moment, right?
Very
Horrible.
happy.
A little warm, a little tingly.
Yeah.
Okay, so is the group deciding to go their separate ways for a day and then reach somewhere else, or
Here's your dude.
Beautiful.
I think, I mean, at least at first mention of wanting to go off alone, when that phrase hits a Rolex's ear, he won't quite get it right. But especially with Ray steering him, Rolex's head will turn backwards while he's still walking forwards, look down at
Oh.
Ray's and say,
Don't do that, Raze. That's disturbing.
And he looked down at Ray's and say, "Do you want company?"
No, I should be fine on my own. I appreciate the offer.
Okay. And he just spins his head back and goes to be reading the book.
Well,
Yeah,
we
it-
should probably.
it doesn't go the same way? It spins all the way around.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Even more disturbing.
Raze is like very clearly disgusted, like a little squeamish.
Yeah.
How about we meet up at the train station tomorrow, early afternoon? It seems no matter where we go, we'll have quite the trip.
Indeed.
Okay, all right. So Raze and Ophidian, I know, are going to go off on their own ways. Either Les and Rolex, are you guys going to stick together, or are you guys going to be breaking off and venturing off on your own as well?
I can't leave this guy by himself. DM person, voice in my head. I'll stick with Rolex.
Rolex's plan, in hearing that we're going to meet at the train station, is to go to the train station, sit down, and read the book until people show up.
I guess we could kill some time there.
Because he doesn't need to
a full
eat
day
or
of
sleep,
just sitting
technically.
there, so.
Yeah.
But less you would have to eat and sleep.
Yeah. He would
For
need
sure.
to, at this point, Rolex would need your lead in order to do anything other than the focus on the book.
All right, you book in one hand, tail in the other hand, and follow me.
That could work, definitely, yeah, because he easy to steer, but he does need to be steered, yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So as you reach down, you grab onto Alessa's tail. You guys start heading towards the train station. It's about half a day's journey on foot right now, especially since you're going to have to be going a little bit slower because Rolex is behind you, and you're going to have some of those moments where he's going one way, and you feel that pull on your tail. And you have to continue moving forward. But you guys will make it there nonetheless, and then we'll get to you guys in a second here. So we'll go to Ophidian. You already sent off your letters. They've gone off here. What else did you want to do, and where did you want to go during this time?
I'm not sure if I can get an audience with John Pashar, but I'm not even sure if I want to do that to raise suspicions. But I'd like to try to get more of that connection or more information out of either him or somebody close to him that I think I could get without raising too much suspicion, right?
Okay, so Jean de Bashar is clearly across the city. You're not going to be able to get to him right now unless you have some means of expedited travel. But you definitely, but roll me a insight check, and let's see if you know of any contacts that you have around here that might have information that you need.
Come on, oh my
I mean, a 12's okay.
12's okay. You know that there is a couple of places that might have some people that who are not the most trustworthy, but they might have information. So in the city, in the part of the city that you're in, because you're not familiar with this part of the city, you don't slum. Ophidian doesn't slum.
We don't.
But there is Lucky's. There is the Goliath's gambling house, which is not too far from here. It's right on the outskirts of kind of where the train station is. So it's on the way. It's not like super close to it, but it's on the way in District 15. And there are some people that you knew who were employed by the Pashar family and who were also in political circles that kind of had a gambling problem, that lost their positions, but they still definitely know some things.
Okay.
That would probably, with what you rolled and where you're at in the city, I'd say that you would probably assume that would probably be your best bet, is to head over to the Goliath gambling den.
Sounds good.
Okay, so that'll take a little bit of time for you to get over there. But Raze, where are you going? You're heading back to the Stew and Pearl, or where are you heading?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to Stu and Pearl, and if 2 is still there, I'm gonna give him an update on what we've learned, because this is exactly what he's looking for.
Okay, all right.
This is juicy shit.
Okay, all right. So we're going to start with Raze, then we're going to go to Ophidian, then Rolex, and Les, because that's kind of the time frame it'll take for you guys to get to where the heck you guys are going. So Raze, doesn't take you very long. Takes you maybe 30 minutes of walking down a couple of buildings, through some of the crowded streets and stuff. Again, people are offering you food and things like that, beverages, drinks, gambling opportunities. You would kind of ignore these, keep your head down, and you keep moving forward through the city. It's very weird. The city, even though some crazy things have happened, it seems like people are kind of just going with the norm now. They're no longer talking about it like they were earlier that day, or even yesterday when things went kind of south. It looks like some of the people here are just kind of like, yep, no, that's kind of typical of Eridan. Let's just
Mondays, am I right?
Yeah, let's just get back on with our lives. There's nothing we can do, and that right there also fills you with kind of that sense of, this is why I'm doing some of the things that I'm doing, because this is not right. This is not normal. What's happening here, the response in the city. But the people have been kind of beat down into that kind of state. But you make it into the Stew and Pearl. Again, it's relatively quiet in there. You see again plenty of familiar guard faces inside of there. As far as that, they give you like friendly little nods and things. One of them is by the door, and he's kind of like falling asleep. He's just kind of like standing there nodding off a little bit here. What do you want to do, Raze?
Well, first things first, I'll need to make sure that 2 is actually here. Are there any signs that they're here? Like when I arrive, are the people moving around, in and out of the back room?
No, there's no one moving in out of the back room right now. So as you come in, doesn't seem to be a lot of movement
Okay.
going on right now.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead, go up to the barkeep, ask him, "Hey, is my buddy here today?"
He goes, your buddy, he's currently, indisposed at the moment. He's taking care of some business with, others.
All right. Well, if you wouldn't mind passing him a note,
Sure.
let him know I was here. Take a journal, write down all the information that I have in as best the code I got. Tear it out, pass it off to him.
Okay.
He wrote it
as you tear it off,
He wrote it
Yeah,
in
you
pig Latin.
yeah. You tear it off and you pass it to him. Then he goes, of course, we'll make sure that this is received properly here. And he kind of just tucks it into his pocket. Is there anything else we can get for you, Tom?
Room and drink.
Yeah, sure. No, so as he goes, of course, as he goes, what type of suite? Do you want a suite with a view or one without?
The way things have been going, I'll take one with a view.
Very good. He slides you a key, and again, it's a secured room that you would have the key to, the back room that you already kind of know of here and stuff. So he hands that to you, and he goes, "There you are." You sit down, and you have a couple of drinks, and you're just kind of trying to go over everything. And as you are, the door opens to the back where the second is, and you see what appears to be 3 or 4 individuals coming out. They're cloaked. They have. You can see that they're wearing underneath their heavy cloaks and stuff like that. They're wearing a symbol of the 5th form on there, so you know that that's who they are. But as they pop out, make me just an investigation check on them real quick, please.
Investigation. Yeah, that. Oh, I'm actually okay at that. Let's go. All right.
Oh, yes, you
natural
are.
20 plus 5.
Yeah. So you see them come out, and on their faces, you can see they're like, some of them are wiping things off. You see there's some slight blood splatter and staining on them, and on their actual hands, their gauntlets and stuff. You can see that there is what appears to be like faded red on there. And as they come out, one of them opens up his jacket a little bit, and just to kind of like get through the door, and you can see there is a Winter's Peak Guard blade attached to his hip, and he just kind of covers it up really quickly as they make their way out. And as they make their way out, you hear from inside with a 20, you hear, "Good work at the docks. Make sure that again you have a well-deserved break." And they start to. The door closes, and the 3 of them walk out. They have what appears to be, one of them has a hefty sack of coin, and he's like pocketing it. And he goes, "All right, where are we going, guys? Oh man, let's go get some food. Let's go get some women, some company. Let's go get both." And the 3 of them are starting to make their way through the bar. It's through the Stew and Pearl itself.
Do I recognize any of the voices?
You don't have any direct knowledge of who these people are, but one of the voices you do recognize. He is a fellow agent. He is right around your rank. You've never actually physically met him because, again, your organization, typically agents don't meet with each other to a high level unless they're collaborating on a bigger type of a job. But you definitely would know of some of them. This one's code name, you only know his code name too. His code name is Bishop. That's all you know of him.
Bishop.
Mhm.
Interesting.
You need to start.
Fun.
You need to start arranging some secret agent knitting circles so you get to know each other.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah.
Start a book club.
There you go.
It's funny that his name's Bishop when he's still a pawn.
Ooh, I like it.
Welcome
I
back,
like
Randy.
That one. That was neat.
Okay. Okay. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna look at the bartender, kind of like nod my head towards the back door, raise an eyebrow.
He goes. He gives a little nod to the guard, and the guard who was nodding off was woken up by the door opening again. He's like, And he goes, "Is the keeper in?" And he goes, 1 second. You see him like turn towards the door, and he like opens a small little slat, and he looks inside, and then he closes the slat there, and he goes, "No, he's not in at the moment."
All right then. I'll turn in for the night.
Okay.
How much for the meal?
For you, Tower, it'd be just 2 gold.
Pleasure doing business with you.
All right, so yeah, you make your way to the back safe room here. As you make your way to the back, the person who's leaning against that hidden wall just kind of sees you coming. You flash your key to him. He kind of bangs on the wall and it opens up, and you make your way inside to the safe room. All right, Ophidian, you by the time you get going through the streets here, your messages were sent out. The first one that comes back would be Annette, as again your overlords are a ways away, so they take a little bit longer of a time. But that's just kind of where they're at in the actual city here. But Annette, she was relatively close, so you get a response from her relatively quickly. What did you tell her exactly in the message?
I can't remember what I told her before. I think I've been pretty much upfront with her though. About
You have been pretty upfront.
I've mentioned part because I'm trying to burn just everything down. I even mentioned the section about there might be connection with Phineas and his family history. I even mentioned about John Pashar having maybe some possible connection to the Zutla clan as well. I pretty much unload everything.
Okay.
Right?
All right. So
can I just interject for a moment, just for my own clarification, continuity? Annette is the newspaper lady.
The newspaper lady. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
His contact with the newspaper. Okay. All right. So I just wanted to make sure as far as what you were sending off to her. Okay. With that, you get a response back, and she goes, "I don't know how you got all this information, but this is a huge coup. Lord Phineas is going to be exclusively at the power plant here to unveil a new type of generator that he has been working on to repair the damage here in a grandiose performance in the next 2 days, Ophidian. If you can get me documentation..."
Well, it would be as Shukati. That's how.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Once again, it's your name. My apologies.
Totally.
She only knows you by your alias. She goes, "If you can get me," and she references that she gave you like that camera type of thing.
Yep.
If you can get me a photo of this creature, I will run it on every single front page that we have for the Eridan Gazette.
All right. Sounds pretty good.
Okay, so with that, that's what you get from her. She is definitely very interested. You get from, even though it's like a recorded message, you get the sense she is very interested in this, and she is going to run whatever you send to her. So whatever you get in terms of success will be on the front page of the Eridan Gazette. You make your way down to the Goliath gambling house. This is actually underground. So in the actual big tower blocks of housing and stuff, you make your way. You can see as you make your way through the district towards District 15, you get the smell of the actual river that's running through to the actual Dresden Harbor and things. It starts to get a little bit fishy smelling on there with a little bit of char because, again, part of the city just burnt down and part of the docks just burnt down. So it's not the most pleasant smell, but you make your way into a massive building, and inside you head downstairs, down about 4 flights. And again, you're just so pissed off that you have to go down 4 flights of stairs to get to this place. But outside there is a large orcish-looking individual standing outside of 2 big double doors. With your contacts, you already kind of know how to get in. So as you make your way up, he already kind of opens the door for you as you give him kind of a little password. And inside you can see there is a dimly lit gambling house. There is a place for like pit fighting in the back. You can see there's a crowd of people back there already. There's looks to be some fighters getting ready to get inside there. There's several tables that are dimly lit over there. It looks like they have some magical casters in there that are just casting dancing lights above them. So it's very, very like dimly lit over them as they're playing in different kind of card and dice games. There's a bar at the very end. Make me a investigation check. See if you can find who you're looking for.
All right. Investigation. This is what I have a negative in. I'll probably roll really good, right?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, of course.
All right. So looking around, and again, you're blending in right now. Are you which persona are you putting off right now? Is it Shikate still, or are you putting off someone?
No, this would be the Ophidian
The
persona.
video. Okay, the Ophidian persona. All right. So with that, you're looking around. You see, there's a few people that you know. There is a tabaxi that is again over in the corner. He looks a little bit older. He's wearing like a really kind of rundown top hat, and he has what appears to be like small monocles on, and he's by a dice rolling game. You see that there is a
Brown names more.
Yeah.
More
you
or
see
less.
you see no. The name of this person here that Ophidian would know. This person was Mr. Buttons. Mr. Buttons the tabaxi. And Mr. Buttons was working as terms of a financial advisor to Jean de Pochard for several years, but was let go because he had some let's just say some questionable investment choices for him.
Well, okay, so if these people were Prashar family members, then I would be down here as
Yeah, 'cause
Razor for Damon Beck. Yeah, the other.
because that's why I asked, because you were looking for somebody who knew information on the
I
Bashars.
totally forget. Yep.
No, you're good. That's what happens when you have so many personalities.
I know, it kind of gets confusing.
You do see that there is there's Mr. Buttons. You also see that there is a woman. She is over. She is dancing on one of the tables that's off in the back here. It looks like they have kind of like that nightclub style vibe in there, where some of the people go to get their rocks off, so to speak. You see Julie. She is dancing around on there. She was a private escort for Jean Pochard before he met his wife, and so it was several years ago. But she is now here dancing around because she is no longer invited anywhere with this particular family, and he kind of ruined her reputation a bit because he didn't want to be associated with her once he met a upstanding woman. But with a 17, I would say those would probably be your two top choices. There is Richter. He is a Goliath. He is one of the proprietors of this club. He worked security for Jean de Pochard, but you're not sure how much he knows because he was very much a meathead kind of security guy. He might know more about Garthok as far as who's running security right now, but those would be the three people in this seedy underground gambling house that you would know.
All right, I'll go talk to Mr. Buttons first.
Okay. All right. So you make your way over, and he's sitting at a long table, and they have like carved into the table. It's not even like nicely like painted on like numbers and things, but they've carved in like numbers on there, and you can see them throwing dice down, and these little like gold pieces and silver pieces and copper pieces being matched and put on there, people going on there, and you see Mr. Buttons. He's just sitting there with his paws, and he goes, "Oh God, not again! All right, fine. Let's see what I have here." As he looks up at you, he like pulls his spectacles up a little bit. He goes, "Raise, is that you?"
How much does he owe?
Looking at with the 17, as far as your investigation check goes, like surveying the room, he's probably down about 100 coin right now, 100 gold. Oof. Yeah, it's not good. He's not looking too good right now.
Not sure if I could leave his pain too much.
It's up to you. He's looking at you. He goes. Is that you? Damn glasses here. I just
got time for a chat.
Oh, well, I mean, and as you're saying this here, like the person who's like overseeing the table, it's a large looking dwarf. I mean, this dwarf looks probably about 5 feet for a dwarf, and he's very, very thick and very, very broad. And he's looking and goes, "All right, Buttons, that's going to be 100 gold for you here." He's waiting for Mr. Buttons to put more coin on the table. He goes, "I'm sorry, I have one more. Can I get some? Let me borrow some credit here. Some just a little bit, and I'm feeling lucky on this roll. Look, my good friend here is here to help me with this." He points over to you, Ophidian. What do you want to
do? I'll see if I can persuade the dwarf to kind of let him slide on this one.
Okay, how do you want to do that? What do you want to say to the dwarf? He looks over at you. Goes, are you putting up credit for this one here?
Double or nothing.
Sure.
My friend Les will cover it.
He'll be
The hell
covered.
I will.
He looks at you and he looks at you and he kind of gives you a little bit of nod and he's waiting for you to show him some coin that you know it'll be covered. Do you flash him any coin or
Yeah,
no?
I will. I'll flash him some
Okay.
coin.
So yeah. So I mean, you've been around these kind of places here. You know how some of these things work. So you kind of just like open up your jacket just a little bit, and you can see like there's a pouch that goes. All right, Buttons, and he pulls out some more coin. He puts it on. He goes, oh, thank you. All right, 100 gold on. What do you think? Razor? What's your lucky number?
What kind of game is this?
So this is a form of roulette for you. Again, it's simply there are several things. It's 1 through 20 as far as numbers go. You can bet on a single number, or you can bet on evens, odds, evens or odds in order to again earn coin. So he's looking to you and going, oh, okay, where to go? What do you think?
Always bet on odd.
Odds. All right, odds. Yes, I want 100 gold on the odds, please. And as they put 100 in the gold, you see there's a few other people around the table start putting their coins down and stuff like that. And then he slides the dice over. He goes, all right, Racer, if you blow on these for me, please. He pulls his paw up to you.
All right.
All right. I'll give you the honors. You roll me a d20.
This is going to be fun.
When Chris said that, all I could hear was Han Solo saying, "Never tell me the odds."
It's a dice game. You should have just rolled the dice.
If it was red and black, I would have said always bet on black. Yeah. Whatever, passenger 57. But
all right. So a 6 with a 6, he goes, that's an even 6, and he pulls, and you see Mr. Buttons go, oh God, and the dwarf behind the table goes. He looks at both of you. All right, pay up. Unless you're willing to again put more credit down.
I think it's probably time to leave, Mr. Buttons.
And Mr. Buttons goes, yes, it's time for us to go. It's time for us to go here. We're just gonna head to the bathroom real quick. Don't worry, I'm still going to pay. He looks at you, Razor, and the dwarf is like, he's giving you like this. He's very, very suspicious of what's happening here. What would you like to do?
I'm going to, let's see here. I don't know how this might work out. I'm going to have to try to Jedi mind trick this dude, I guess.
How would you like to Jedi mind trick him?
I'm going to use suggestion on the
Sorry,
dwarf.
what game are we playing?
Okay.
Do
Suggestion.
I get flash grenades,
like,
Joe?
hey, you can kind of let it slide. We're not going to.
Okay. What save is that?
It's I guess I'll put it up here. Is it putting the
okay?
DC 15 wisdom save.
DC 15. Now he doesn't have a good wisdom because he's not super smart. So let's just see how he does.
Oh,
that's a 2 in total. So what do you tell him? Because he'll take whatever suggestion you give him right now.
I guess I want to say Mr. Buttons is paid up. He's good.
He looks and he goes, "Paid up. All right. Man, I must have." He pulls like a little ledger and he goes, "I must have added the thing wrong. Here's this. All right." And Mr. Button goes, "Yes, I have paid." And he gets up and he goes, "Come, let's go, Razor. Let's head to the bar." And they start to walk away as he starts to again, scratch his head and he goes, "This is, I swear he did. I guess he did. There's a lot of coin on the table, though. I'm not sure." All right, what would you like to do?
Must have forgot to carry the R.
Yeah, I multiplied by pi. I want to ask him if he remembers anything about when he worked for the Pashars. And I kind of, I'll make sure nobody's over listening in, or want to make sure even my mouth is hidden a little bit for anybody to get read lips.
Yeah, you cover your face a little bit here.
Yeah,
as he goes over the bar.
And I assume he's got good hearing, so I could kind of keep it pretty low.
Yeah.
What's the rumor about the Pashars being tied to the Zetlada Drow clans? What do you know about that?
He looks at you and goes, "Oh, well, Reza, I mean, such a long time ago, and it's been very difficult for me, as you can see here. I mean, maybe you have some, I don't know, something to help my memory.
How about I just saved you 200 gold already?
Well, I mean that's nice, but I mean I still need to eat, things. Reza, it's been tough out here.
You want me to buy you a meal?
How about you just give me
Couple drinks.
give me five gold pieces. That'll get me back in good here. What do you say? Come on, Reza.
All right, 5 gold it is.
All right, thank you. You sure you can't make it 6 or 7 gold pieces?
No, I think 5 was the
All right, fine.
what was mentioned.
So you slide some coin over to him, and he goes. He puts he pockets them. And he goes, all right. So, why are you interested in the Zetleta Drow clans and Jean?
Do you want to pay me 5 gold to give an answer to that?
I'm curious now. Maybe I do. Yeah.
Nice.
So with that, he goes, all right, fine. You've earned my trust here. So, many years ago, I was doing some research into, well, Jean Dol's amass wealth, his fortune and things, and how he was paying for some of the things to basically resow the farms and the crops and all these things here. And a lot of his money was very old money if you follow it back far enough. This goes back to the time of the Delathon family of different controlling groups that were long before that dealt with these Zeta clans themselves. And a lot of it came from a specific type of coin that was only minted in the actual undercities of the Zetleta Drow clans. The only way to get these things as well was direct trade, which the Pashas did not have. So my assumption was that it's family money. It has to be something like that.
This is definitely interesting. Do you have any of that documentation, perhaps?
It would be at my abode. If I think I have some of it there. If you want to head over, and I can get it to you.
We could do that later.
Oh, all right. But yes, I mean, if you follow the money enough, and this is why I think that I was let go, not because of how I gambled away 30,000 coin, but it was because of me bringing this up to Jean Dol, and he was not very happy that I was going that far back into his money.
I think you're probably right. Maybe I could help you out later to
Yes, please.
Get back into the good graces of society.
Oh,
maybe not the Star family, but somewhere.
Oh, that would be fantastic here. I would not have to come in here and gamble with these unseedy types.
I have a couple more people I need to talk to in here, but we'll go to your place later.
All right, I'll be over. I'll be over at the tables here, and he starts to head over towards the.
I wouldn't go back to that table. I can't.
No.
I can't convince that dwarf too many more times.
I'm feeling quite lucky right now. He's going over towards what's like some sort of card tables instead.
Jason, I thought you were going to say, when Buttons was saying how far away he lived, I thought you were going to measure the distance in gold. It's like, I only live about 7 gold from here.
Ophidians help him out enough, right?
Nice.
This point here. Okay, so before you go talk to the next people here, let's go to Rolex and let's go to Les. You guys make your way. You guys at this point in time would have made your way over to the train station. Busy as always. There are tons of people here, and Les, it's really difficult to navigate Rolex without him bumping into people because of how many people there actually are now. It is like shoulder to shoulder.
Okay, buddy, it's timeout time for the book. Either tuck it away or put it in my bag, because there's too many people here. You don't want to lose it.
I could just sit down.
Did you want to see the trains, or did you just want to sit at a random bench?
We are to meet Ray's here tomorrow morning, whenever he said.
I'm well aware, but I just wondered if you wanted to occupy our time by, sightseeing. Maybe, did you say something about some stuck pages on the book?
Ew. No, what Jason was
it's not that
describing
kind of
was
book.
when it opened, it was like it hadn't been opened in a long time. Like
Okay, I just wasn't sure if over time, like some pages got kind of like, I don't know if you ever had a book that got moisture on the corners or anything.
Ew.
Nothing
not
gross.
the kind of books that you're reading and talking about.
Also gross. But
let me show you the
Sometimes pages stick.
centerfold of the Zurlik family diary.
Well, all of the Juralic family are illustrated inside the book, but they're all tasteful nudes.
Okay, but I had a
Nice.
good theory about using steam from something to make the pages loose so we could read them.
Really,
But-
what I would be trying to get across here, Randy, is Rolex is not interested in closing the book whatsoever. He would need some really good incentive. So, yeah, but the response would be, if you're worried about me walking into people, I can just sit.
Well, it's a heavy traffic area. We don't want to sit right here. Let's find a clear area. Come over here. I'll just guide him to some place near some buildings that is away from most of the traffic.
Okay.
If you put the book down, we can go get ice cream.
Damn, that would be something. Although I don't necessarily care about ice cream. Who knows?
Can you find anything of use in there or anything fascinating?
I'll check with the GM.
Yep. So make me an investigation check or an insight check, whichever one you prefer.
All right. Definitely investigation for me. Let's go there and get a 16.
A 16. Okay. With a 16, what are you wanting to find in there next?
What
Because
what
with a
I'm
16, you
most
can.
what Rolex is most interested in is scanning the book. Really, just I don't even know if he's absorbing anything yet. He's hoping that something triggers another one of these flashbacks or memory as he's thinking about them right now, glitches, something, some oddity, because this is all new. Maybe this is part of what life is. Maybe if I can inspire
Buddy.
this, right?
Okay, all right. Yeah, you hear a barking dog just go off. It startles you as the train flies by. And,
Yeah.
that's what.
Les, did you bark?
No, I meow.
All right. So
Okay.
as you're going through and you're reading through some of the journal, some of the earlier stuff, it sounds familiar, but it's not sparking those memories. It's not sparking those glitches.
I think that was dog.
Yeah. As you turn one of the pages, you see that there is a diagram from Rigel, and it is the diagram of what appears to be an arm piece, a actual like full-on mechanical arm with the details of how it works, how the arcane properties make it move, how it connects to everything else. And you look down, and as you look down at your own arm, you kind of go to that flashback, and you see your arm way back in the day, and you can see Rigel. He's standing there in front of you with two other individuals. They're all looking very, very pleased, and your hand is opening up and closing, and you hear him going, "My God, look at this! It is working. It's working perfectly." He looks and he goes, "Look over here. Reach and grab this here, please." And he puts his hand out, and there's like an apple inside of it. You just grab it and you turn it. And he goes, "That's fantastic. This is a great thing." And then you just the apple gets crushed really quick, and he's like, and he goes, and then the woman next to him goes, "I think we still have some work to do on him." "Yes, but my God, this will be an absolutely fantastic creation." And then you kind of flash back to yourself here as again you're looking at your arm here. Your arm is definitely weathered. It's definitely older now, but you definitely recognize that he's writing about you, and you're in this passage, this section that's talking about him building his masterpiece in terms of construct.
So I would think that's probably starting to click with Rolex that it might be him, and he's just going to start scanning pages for a keyword search, masterpiece. What was it? The new member of the family that was created, and just doing this kind of keyword search, looking for phrases, not reading, but just searching, like aggressively.
I would say over the next again, unless there's anything that you're doing with him, Les, because again, Rolex decides he goes over to a bench and he goes to sit down, but he misses the bench. He just sits on the floor next to the bench as he's reading. You see, there's a few people who are next to him, like kind of get like move out of the way as this large mechanical butt just comes down and sits down on the ground and is sitting there. He's reading through it, and again, Rolex, you get there's about another 3 or 4 passages that cover the inception of your creation on it. Very cool. You see again, you have these flashbacks to seeing your actual body being built. You actually have one flashback where you have your chest piece that is fully opened, and you can see 2 of them standing over you, like tinkering with the internal mechanisms of it. Les, is there anything that you're wanting to do while he's doing this?
He just asked him if there was anything fascinating, and he immediately got quiet again and started reading the book. And was like,
Well, the fascinating
okay.
things, I would have no problem pointing them out to Les, whether they make the same sense to him or not, because it's triggering images in my mind, as it were. And whether Les would have the same interest or not, I'd still point it out because I'm extremely caught up in the moment.
I'm
And
going to attach a movie screen to your forehead.
Yeah, there you go.
What's going on?
I don't know. Les might just need to go to the Wolfgang Puck sandwich kiosk and get something to eat. I'm not sure.
I'm going to go grab some food and drinks.
All right. All right.
Do
So
not go anywhere.
Okay. All right. So Rolex, as you are going through and furiously going through these things here, you're getting pieces of your inception, and then you're getting into pieces as you get past that point where he was talking about how he was building this masterful creation. You get into some of the, like, right as you were built, it seemed like crap hit the fan. It seemed like everything started to fall apart. There's a passage in particular that you kind of get sucked into, which goes over going underground for the first time to meet these drow leaders to again try to create a peace between them. And you see yourself walking down with a caravan of people through this dark tunnel, heading deeper and deeper. And again, even though the tunnel is dark, you can see perfectly fine. But even with your dark vision and stuff like that, you can still see it's not dark in there. It's warmly lit with different glowing crystals and things, and you see a clear path of entry into it as far as where you can go through and how you guys got down there. As you're going through this memory, Les, what kind of food are you going to get here? Where are you going to get this stuff?
I don't know where it's located in the map, but you should be looking for some like fresh fish or
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of people who are always hucking wares, and again, in this terminal here, there is actual buildings that are serving food that you can go to that'll cost a little bit more coin, and then you have a few street vendors who are out there with like little carts and stuff that have fish, they have rice bowls, they have different things.
Les
vendors.
Les doesn't really need a fancy feast, does he?
No, he doesn't need a fancy feast.
Okay. All right.
I mean, he likes to mix it up a little bit from time to time, but
yeah.
Okay. All right. Then let's go ahead and make me a insider investigation check to see if you can get some food.
Let's see. Not intimidation. 13.
13. Okay. With a 13, yeah, you go up to a place that you think that is relatively clean in terms of sanitation standards and things like that, and they have some pretty good looking fish there. As you go there and as you start again interacting, the young person behind the grill goes, all right, that'll be 5 gold for fish for you if you just want one. If you want more, it'll be a little bit more.
Do you have a catch of the day?
Yes, it's this. And he looks down at what's on the actual thing. You can tell they don't have a very large stock at this one here, but it definitely smells probably the best out of the ones that you've.
That smells amazing. What is it?
It's a fish.
I'm well aware of that. I'm just asking for breed.
He looks. It's the ones, and you can see there's like a canal that leads to the river next to you. He goes, it's the ones that came out of there. I'm not sure exactly what it's called. I just cook it.
Smells amazing. How much?
5 gold.
Still 5. Okay. I'll take 2. And do you have any drinks here?
He looks down and he grabs like a bucket that has some water. He puts a cup in. He puts his cup in it and goes, "This 1 silver for some water for you."
I'm okay. Thank you, though. Here's actually 6 gold, and good luck with your stand, and probably learn what the products' names are before you sell them. It might help you out.
All right. As you bite into some delicious fish and everything else, you see Rolex. He's still over by himself by the bench where you left him. He hasn't moved. He's not going to move unless someone physically tries to move him there.
Yep.
Did Dog curl up in his lap?
Yeah, Dog is he's sitting there, and Dog is also kind of keeping watch of people as well, since Rolex is doing his thing. Is there anything the two of you wanted to do up until again? I mean, you found food. It's definitely busy in there right now.
Let's just see what the word is around this area. Just listen to people's conversations. Just
Unless
Okay.
Les brings something up, Rolex is just single-minded at this point, singular focus.
Yeah, and again, you're getting like longer, prolonged, sustained flashbacks. Like this one here that you're going down to this tunnel here, and you can see Rigel. He's in front of you. He looks nervous. He looks not as composed as he usually does, and he's talking with a young woman who's standing next to him, and she's going, "It'll be all right, darling. It'll be all right. Things will be very, very. I'm hopeful that things will be very, very solid in terms of our communication with these people." And he goes, I'm not sure, and he's going down there. Les, as you're looking around, make me a perception check.
Okay. Perception. I got a 5.
Okay. With a 5, don't catch too many things, unfortunately. With a 5.
Okay, I'll go to the other side of the train station and just kind of listen around too, while finishing up the fish.
All right, make me another perception check then.
Because he's got nothing else to do while they're killing time. How's a 20 sound altogether?
20 sounds really good. With a 20, it's normal bustliness at the train station here, but you do see there are 3 individuals that are making their way to the train station. They are wearing cloaks and stuff, and then they've been talking very loudly about, man, that was a crazy job at the docks. I know, man, it was great, absolutely insane here. I can't believe that that many people died. All this kind of stuff there. You hear 3 of them as they're making their way, and they're waiting for what looks like the next train to come in.
Does it say around what that train is they're about to get on towards?
Few minutes, you can hear it coming off in the distance.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're talking like, yeah, no, let's get out of here. Let's head over to the good district. Yeah, let's get out. Let's go find some high class broads. Yeah, they're kind of like super pumped about it. They got some coin to spend and things. They would be the most interesting people that you would have heard.
So I have the feeling that they were working with the Winter Mirrors. That's my first thought for the guard, since that's the way they're acting.
Potentially.
I guess I'll kind of stick by for a little bit, just listen, see if there's anything else more relevant that comes up.
Okay. So with the 20, as you're watching them, you do definitely get the glean of the handle of a Winter's Mirror guard. They're not dressed like Winter's Mirror guard by any stretch of the imagination. They are definitely not. But you see the pommel of one of them as they're being like jostled around by some of the people who are moving in and out here. You can hear them talking, God, I'm so sick of this place as far as people need to. There's too many people here. Yeah, let's spring for first class. Yeah, let's spring for first class. I'm not sitting in the back this time. You can hear them talking over these things here, but you definitely see that the pommel, the handle, that weapon.
Now, Randy, were you asking? Is there something like a departure board or something that says where the train is headed? Is that what you're wondering?
That's what I was curious about.
So this is on a single line here. This goes up. This comes through here, and then it heads down through hands up and around the Coliseum, and then back down into Winter's Peak District, and then also into District 13. Once it goes past District 13, it goes around kind of the Guild Hall area, and then it makes its way into District 8 and 9 towards the Von Hayden's Fairgrounds.
I'll just tail them a little bit. They're not just standing there waiting. You said they're cutting through all the way through that station?
No, they're waiting. Yeah, they've made their way up to like where the boarding platforms are, and they're just kind of sitting there talking about what they're going to spend their coin on and things like that.
Okay, since they're not going anywhere. I still don't see any use for these people at this time, so I'm just going to, like I said, take note of that, and I guess I'll start making my way back towards Rolex.
Okay, all right. We'll head back then to Ray's. Ray's, what are you doing? I mean, again, are you just turning in for the night? You're nothing else you wanted to do?
Yeah. I'm just turning in for the night. I'm interested in what the heck was going on with those guys that left, but it's not my place. If I needed to know, I would have been brought into that operation. So I'm just going to get some rest.
All right. So we'll go for the sake of expedience here. Ophidian, back inside, who are you wanting to talk to next? It's getting later in the evening. What would you like to do?
I would go for the dancer Julie, and then
Okay.
the next guy.
Okay. All right. So, what are you trying to get from the two of them here?
I'm just trying to see if they have any more information related to the same question I asked about the connection with the Little Drow clan and the Pashars.
All right, make me a persuasion check or whatever kind of check you want to see if you can get it out of them here. We'll kind of speed through a little bit of it here so that we can because we're getting close to end time for this game.
Of course, because I have a +10, I'm going to roll real low. Yeah, that's how that works.
Okay. So the Goliath, who was the former guard there, been hit in the head a lot. Doesn't remember a whole lot from his time with Jean Dahl. Been hit in the head a lot. You can see a lot of the scarring on his face and stuff. Barely remembers what happened the previous day. He was kind of a bust for you. Julie, though, she does give you information. She says that she was happy with Jean Dahl for a long time, but he was obsessed with finding somebody who was of higher stature than her. She revealed to you that he has a unique birthmark that is not visible. It's like on his like outer thigh, like close to his left butt cheek. That only she would know because again she has been with this individual. And this particular birthmark is prevalent, and it was very, very much known that certain family members of a certain bloodline with the Letadrow clan had these birthmarks. When pressed about it, he would always just say, "Oh no, it's just I have a it was an old injury or it was an old scar or something like that." She has no proof of it. She only has her word, but that's what you would get from her.
Okay.
And I would say it would probably cost you another 5 coin to get that out of her.
Yeah, no worries. Yep.
Yeah, with the 12, I would say it would cost you a little bit to get that out of her.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Heading back with Mr. Buttons, you go back to his abode. His abode is a trash can that he lives in. He has like a old looking briefcase. He opens it up. He gives you one document, and one document only is all he's been able to keep, and he's kept it for some time. It's really wrinkled. It's partly faded. It's not in great condition, but it does have details of about almost 10,000 pieces of coin that were minted with the Zetleta clan's marking on them. They are gold coins, obviously, but they were not, again, standard ones that were used in Eridan.
Okay.
That are inside his personal vaults.
All right. Can I keep this?
Yeah. Right. With what you gave to Mr. Buttons, yeah, you can keep this.
All right. I will also take a picture of it with the camera, just so
sure.
I have a copy as well.
Yeah, you take a picture of it. Easy enough. Okay. Let's say then we will move to the next day. We'll get the group back together if everyone's good for that here, and that is where we will kind of see what you guys want to do, and then we'll end for the evening here. So the next morning comes. Not the best sleep for you here, sleeping outside underneath the stuff with the crowded train station. Every hour a train goes by, and you wake up and you're like, oh, that was not nice. But you guys are all rested. You get your spells back, you get your health slots back, all that kind of stuff there. We will be leveling up before next game, so we'll move up to level 10.
Yay!
As you guys gained a lot of experience in terms of lore of the world. But you guys are back together. Where are you guys wanting to go?
Before we do anything, I want to get that information I just obtained to Annette as well.
Yeah, easy enough.
And then I'll have a hard copy of that one piece later for.
Les will tell the party about where those 3 people went that he saw that seemed suspicious with the sword. So they might check out where they went.
That's interesting. I also saw a group of men with Winter's Mirror equipment. They seemed rather excited.
Were they talking about getting things or women or partying pretty much?
It did seem as though they had recently come into a sizable amount of coin.
That's what I got from them too. It might be the same people.
Interesting. Well,
Do you want to follow them?
regardless, do you know where they were headed?
I saw what train they got on, to where it was going.
It may be worth investigating. However, I vote that we start with the cathedral, get a lay of the land.
Sounds good to me.
All right, Ophidian, are you good with that?
Yeah. Hey, Les, do you know a Mr. Buttons?
Sounds like a Tabaxi kind of name, but I do not know all Tabaxi, if that's what you're asking.
Oof.
That's what I was asking.
Do you know Jake the Snake Man?
I do know Jake.
That's funny.
He's got
He's
a pretty
good.
cool
We're good
move
friends.
called
We
the
went to high
DDT.
school together.
Nice.
Oh, I'm sorry, I meant Jake the Snake Man Jr.
I do not know. I don't know Jing. No,
See?
just the man.
The
Never
other
met
thing,
him. I hate kids.
the other
do I
thing
get
for
any information back from the Yuan T people?
Yes, but we were going to save that for the next start. of the next game.
Okay. No worries.
Start for the next game.
so I want for Rolex, I want to make sure that he expresses all of the stuff that he's learned through reading the book and the memory sparks. There are no secrets with him. He's just going to say everything. And so
you actually have a few people who are hanging out around the train tracks who sit down next to you, start to listen to what you're saying as well.
Cool.
overnight. So you have a few of the younger kids and stuff who are waiting for trains, like listening to you as you're talking to Les and telling them everything that's going on.
So
when you're reading the book,
when the party's back together, and this is the picture I got in my head. I don't know, plenty of Star Wars references on this one, but when and forgive me for bringing up an Ewok reference for Star Wars. However, when C-3PO is telling the story of what's happened so far with the Ewoks, and he's got all the sound effects and the different voices and all that, that's what Rolex is trying to do. I decided to, for myself, roll a performance check, and I got an 8. So it's probably not a particularly good performance, but that's what he's trying to do.
The voices, he has the effects. It's just all in the same tone.
It's monotone. Yeah, it's still him trying to figure out inflection.
But it's still some of the most entertaining things that happen around this part of the train track. So you do have a few people who pass by who hear the monotone voices in this Warforge that's sitting down with a book doing things. So you get a few people who kind of listen in a little bit here. But Willis would also let you guys know that he does know now a way to get into the underground city through his
and I would relate that might bring up something with Ophidian, who had actually looked at where the entrances were and tried to map them. The description that I have would probably match something that you had seen.
Good job, Rolex. I told you were there.
Yep. Rolex, you definitely would go through there. The entrance that you are aware of is right on the outer edge of the estate. It's right on the border of the forest and where the estate ends. There's like a little shaft that is built into some outcroppings, and that is where it led into. Currently, it's on the estate's property, but it's off towards the far corner where their property line kind of ends and the forest begins. So you would, again, definitely be able to tell that to Ophidian, and Ophidian to be able to put that together with what you have.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. All right. Well, with that, we will see. We have 2 votes right now to go to the, I think, the cathedral. Is that where everyone wants to go and start to head to for next game?
I don't know. Knowing that we can get into the city now.
The state is my vote.
Yeah. If now that we have an actual way to get into the city, Ray's is going to be like, yes, let's go.
Okay.
Let's see what's down there.
Okay.
Let's be careful, though.
These guys are Les's biggest lead to the underground people, the darker side of everything. So he'll follow them still.
Okay. All right. Rolex, you're good with that?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, then you guys, are you guys traveling first class, second class, or economy?
Economy.
If we go the way we did the first time, I think Ophidian's sitting up front, Les is sitting on the roof, and
Ray's was running along the train tracks.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm assuming Ophidian is going first class.
Yeah, whatever gets me there faster.
Well, I mean, they'll get you
more
there
luxury.
They'll get you there same speed, but luxury is.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. So it's 10 gold for a first class ticket. It is a single gold piece for a economy ticket. So however you guys want to go, you guys will get onto this train here, and next game, as you guys get onto the train, we will end for this particular one, and then starting next game, we will jump into the underworld and go from there.
Very cool.
Sweet, excellent.
Like it.
Awesome.
Right.
Cool. Thank you, Jason. Very
All right.
cool
Well, thank
stuff.
you guys.
So then we will get this one wrapped up, and we can all say bye.
Bye-bye.
Later.
See ya. Have a nice night.
The
See ya.
Precision
There's my
Podcast was
buddy.
brought to you by One Joe Young. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com.
Hey, Jason, I took extensive notes this time, so feel free to skip me.
Yeah, I will.
All right.
Feel free to skip me.